Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is YAHMAD. So in this video we're going to be finishing up paper 3 from the CIE ICT IGCSE course. We are doing a May-June 2020 paper, variant 32. So guys, remember this was the paper which was cancelled due to COVID-19. So paper 3 is a practical paper which is 2 hours and 30 minutes long. If you check out the previous video, I've completed the website part of this exam paper, and we're now going to be looking at data analysis, which is spreadsheets. So let's scroll down to page 5, task 3, data analysis. So you're going to edit a spreadsheet to calculate profit and loss for the Alanio Beach and Dive Resort. Alanio's financial year is split into 4 quarters. Each quarter has 3 months. All currency values must be in dollars to 0 decimal places. So let me just highlight this. Okay, question 13. Open and examine a file h2032-summary.csv in a spreadsheet package. So let me go to my source folder. Go back. Yep, so let's see what this file is showing us. Okay, so once the file is open, we're going to be entering some details in the header. So center aligned. Let's have a look. Okay, here we go. So open up, increase the size of each of the columns, open them up by dragging in between the letters if you want. Right, so the first thing we need to do is insert a header, and the text will be center aligned. So if you go to insert, if you can see header and footer, click on the icon. I can't see it for some reason, so let me just type in here header and footer. And in the middle, what do we need to include? We need to include edited by, oops, let me just copy this, followed by space, then your name, center number and candidate number. Okay, include your space. For center number, I will use 5, 6, 7, 8, and then for candidate number, I will use 1, 2, 3, 4. Done. In the footer and center align the text. So if I click on go to footer, again click on the center option, edited on, followed by a space, and then today's automated date. So obviously you guys would have to write this text. I can just copy and paste, space, current date, a space, then the text at. Okay, let me just include this, or I can just type that actually, for space at, and then followed by a space, then automated time, and then current time. And then if I go click anywhere else on the page, you can see edited on, you got the date at, and then the time is here as well. So if you go to the top, you should be able to see your header details. To get back to normal view, click on any cell, go to view, and then click on normal. You can check the header and footer if you go to file and print preview. Yep, edited by YAHMAD, center number, candidate number, edited on, then the date, and then the time as well. Okay, done. We're now going to be saving this as a spreadsheet file with the name summary, followed by your center number and then your candidate number. So let me copy the whole name. So, and also include the underscores as well. And if I go to file, save as, it's really important guys, you save as an Excel workbook. So into the same folder, because obviously we're going to be doing some formulas at some point, and we need to include, or if we didn't save it as an Excel workbook, we left it as a CSV, you would end up losing your formulas, because obviously you're only saving the values as a CSV file. Right, so let's put the center number in first, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then the candidate number, 1, 2, 3, 4. Double check you're saving it as an Excel workbook, I've seen it in the past where people have finished all of the formulas but saved the work as a CS3 file, and then they've closed the Excel file and then opened up the file again only to find values. And there was one person, he had 5-10 minutes to go. He's realised he's not printed off his formulas, but because he saved it into the wrong format, he was not able to get his formulas back. So obviously he lost a lot of silly marks on that question. Okay. Right, done. And now we need to format the spreadsheet to look like this. Okay, so we need to insert a new row, which is going to be merged across these cells all the way to G, so A to G. So let's insert, is it 2 new rows, because highest quarterly profit is on the 3rd row. Yep, so 2 new rows we need to insert. Insert. So right click on the number and then select insert. The first row looks like it's going to be a little bit bigger, so you can adjust the height. Let's merge these cells together here. So highlight the cells, merge and center. Change the background color to black. The text, obviously you'd have to copy in. You'd have to write it in. I can copy and paste it in. We need to change the color so the text is like a grey color. Make the text a bit bigger. I think it was italic, let me just double check. Aliano Beach and Dive Resort. Okay, so let's have a look. Format the merged cell in row 1 to contain orange text. So actually, we're not going to use a print screen. Let's change this to, yeah. Font size is going to be 24, which is what we've got. Okay, so that's a lucky guess. On a black background, the text in this cell should contrast with the background when printed in black and white. So obviously we can see the difference in this color. That's fine. Okay. You can see here as well, it doesn't ask us here, but you can see in the picture the text has been center aligned vertically. So it's not asking us to do it here, but since the picture is showing us, I'm going to do the same thing. So if I right click on the cell, go to format cells, I want to go to alignment, and the vertical alignment is going to be center. Yeah, so yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm going to make the text bold. It doesn't really say anything about the font. Yeah, so I think I'm going to leave the font as it is. Maybe let me see if I can find something a bit similar to what's in the exam paper. That looks a bit similar, doesn't it? Actually, let me see what else we can come up with. I think I'm going to keep the text because it's not really been specific, and I've not got no idea of the scripting. Or I'm just going to see what about Arial. Yeah, we'll go for that one. That's fine. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is put these borders in and format the text. I think the text here looks bold, and let's make the borders. So okay. There's no borders here, but this row 8 seems like this top row is going to be bold. And the text looks like this. Is it center aligned? Profit looks like it's been center aligned. It's quite hard to tell if it's been center aligned or not, the text. I can tell, let me just see. I'm going to leave that for now. I might come back to it. And then row 12, you can see we have a border, so for subtotal. maybe it might ask us later on in the paper to centerline. I can't really tell, so I'll come back to that question. So this also needs to be made bold, and then the table. And then the last two rows, row 24 and 25. So the numbers look like they've been right aligned, so that's obvious. The months are center aligned and a quarter are center aligned. Okay, so actually there's a lot of things to be careful about. You know, I just realized something else with the quarters as well, so I'll show you. So it's fairly obvious the months have been center aligned. The quarters, these cells need to be merged, and the text needs to be center aligned vertically and horizontally. Visitors, income, expenditure, that's on the right side. Profit does look like it's center aligned, so let's just move that into the middle of the cell. Quarter looks like it's been center aligned, and month actually, so okay. And visitors, income, expenditure looks like it's left aligned. Right, now what we're going to do, let's merge these cells together. So again, let's highlight the cells, click on merge and center. And then let's see if we can do this all at the same time. So if we press Control on all of these cells, if I go to Format Cells, center aligned, and then the vertical alignment should be center as well. So okay, and then obviously we need to increase the size of these numbers, make them bold as well. Maybe not that big. Done. I think that's it. Format the text in the merge cells in column B to be font size at 20. Okay, this is this column here. So let me see what we did. So we can select that, and then we can enter 20. Okay. Hang on, that doesn't look right. Format the text in a merge cells. Okay, I need to read the question properly. So let me Control Z. Go backwards. Okay, only in the merge cells, so these cells here, and the font size should be 20. Okay, so if I change, highlight, press Control, select these cells at the same time. So only the cells in the merge cells should be 20. Yeah, I'm happy. Not the whole column, which I thought initially. Right, so let me see if we've done this part. Yeah. Just double checking everything. Let me go to the print preview before I move forward. Let's just have a quick look, see what borders are showing. Yeah, you can see which borders are showing. I think I'm happy with that. Click on save. Okay, question 15. In cell D12, use a function to calculate the total number of visitors for April, May and June. So let's have a look at D12. So D12. Okay, and we're going to be using simple functions to work out these calculations. So it's just going to be an equal sum. So obviously we need to add up 15 plus 15 plus 11. So equal sum, let me just go back to the question 1 second. Yeah, function. So don't be doing things like this, because doing this is not using the correct function. So click on this cell and then this cell. So we need to use the function, which is going to be sum. And then add up these values here. So highlight the cells you want to add from. So from D9 to D11. Close your bracket, press enter. So we've got 41. Okay. In each valve, use a function to calculate the total income for April, May and June. So each valve is going to be this cell here, and again it's going to be a sum. Highlight the range, so from E9 to E11, close the brackets, enter. So we've done these two. In cell F12, use a function to calculate the total expenditure for April, May and June. So again, we want to add them all up for equal sum. Done. Okay. Right, question 18, replicate the formula entered in steps 15 to 17 to calculate the subtotals for all the quarters. Okay, so we basically have to do the same thing. What you can do is we can just copy and paste these formulas. So if I just press Control C, Control V, Control V, and then Control V, you can see this is going to refer to that one. That will refer to that one. Or if you wanted to do them individually, you can do. I'm just double checking. Yeah, the right range is referenced for each of these calculations. Yeah, whoops. What am I doing here? Get rid of that 7. Yeah, so that's fine. Double click. Yeah, that's done. Okay, so you could have done it again individually, or you could have copy and paste this. It's up to you. Calculate the profit for each month and each quarter. Okay. So the profit is going to be basically, it's going to be the income minus the expenditure. So equal income minus the the amount of money we've spent. Okay. I'm going to do the next one now. Oh, let's just drag it down, and then I'm going to copy and paste these and paste them into here, paste them into here, paste them into here. So we have got some minus numbers because it seems like we've spent more than the actual income, and obviously we'd had no income here and we spent 1,640. So again, you guys can choose to do this individually, and if you're happy copy and pasting the formulas in, you can do. Okay, so we've done that now. Question 20. Calculate in appropriate cells the total number of visitors, the total income, the total expenditure and the total profit for the year. Okay, so that's the annual total. Okay. Okay, so what we're going to do is, okay, I'm basically going to sum, and are we using the function again? It doesn't say to use the function. It's up to you what you want to use. So what you can do is, it doesn't have to be a function. You can just type in this number here plus this plus this plus this, enter. Okay, and then what you can do is you can basically drag this across like that. Obviously this is for these 4 values, and then this is for these 4 values here. Okay, done. Format cell G9 to have a red background with white text only if the value in the cell is negative. So G9 is going to be, where's G9? Here. So format cell G9 to have a red background with white text only if the value in the cell is negative. Okay, so we need to use conditional formatting. If you click on home, then make sure you select conditional formatting. Make sure you select a G9 before you start. And the condition is going to be highlight cell rules, and you can select less than 0. So if I type in 0, and we have a custom background, so it's going to be red with white text. So we can't choose this one here, so we need to go to custom format. The fill is going to be red, and the font, the color is going to be white. Let me double check. Yeah, let's choose a color here, and then press OK. And then press OK. And nothing's going to change right now, which is fine. Okay, apply this formatting to cells B3 to B6 and all other cells containing numeric values in the G column. So we can copy the formatting of this cell, and we're going to be using this format painter. So if I click on the cell, then click on the format painter, we can basically copy across the conditional formatting from this cell onto these cells here, simply by clicking on these cells here. And the borders have gone, so let's put the borders back on. And we also need to apply the conditional formatting to any other cells containing numeric values in column G. So if I click back on here again, so to these cells as well. Let me just try that again. Oh, I'm just going to go all the way down actually. Done. And you can see these cells have turned red because they have negative numbers. I'm just going to fix the borders really quickly. Okay, so that was a bit of conditional formatting. I want to go to the print preview just to double check my borders are fine. Yeah, so basically what I did was I clicked on this first cell, I went to conditional formatting, highlight cell rules, less than 0, and then we changed the color to a red background with white text if the number was less than 0, which would obviously be a negative number. And then we copied the formatting of this cell by clicking on this cell and then clicking on format painter, and then we basically apply them to the other cells. Okay, so let's click this off. Okay, done. Evidence 4. Place in your evidence document a screenshot that shows how you apply the formatting to cell G9. Okay, great. I'm going to have to click on the cell again, go to conditional formatting, and then click on less than. I should have done this before really. Let me just click on the first print screen. I'll take this first print screen. So if this cell is less than 0, let's go to here. So this is now evidence 4. So I've got my evidence document open from the previous tasks. Okay, that's my first print screen. I want to show the formatting, the custom formatting as well, so we'll do that in a moment. Okay. And then if I go to custom format, okay, we can see the color has been set to red. And then I also want to show, let's go back, the font color has also been set to white. Oops, did I press? Fill is red and font color is white. So let me print screen this. Okay, done. Okay, and that's conditional formatting. Just going to put that like that. and job done. Just make the size of this a bit bigger. Okay, done. Save the changes to the evidence document, and let's move forward. So question 22, cell B3, use a function to display the highest profit for any quarter. So which cell is B3? B3 is going to be the cell here, and we want to show the highest profit for any quarter. So what we need to do is basically work out the highest value. So we need to add up these numbers here. So I could do equal sum. Let's add these numbers together. So this is adding up these numbers here. I'm going to copy and paste these formulas here. So this is equal sum of this range of cells. Let's copy that again. Control C, Control V. Obviously this one's negative, so that's not going to be the highest. So I've just copied the formulas. If you want to do them individually, you can do. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we need to use, to get the highest profit, we're going to use max. So equal max, and we want to look at this first value here, comma, and then this second value here, comma, the third value, and a fourth. So obviously these values here which I've selected are the profits for each quarter. Close your bracket, press enter. So that's max. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, we need to find the lowest value. So I'm just going to copy and paste this. Whoopsie daisy, what am I doing? Into here again. Okay, I didn't drag it down because I didn't want to lose these places here, the positions. And we're going to change this to min. Okay. So obviously we've gone into a negative numbers, which refers to this cell here, and the conditional formatting has been applied. Okay, now we need to work out the average monthly profit. Okay, so we're going to be referring to these individual months. So it's going to be, oh actually let's see the questions, I think we're jumping ahead. So in cell B4, use a function to display the lowest profit for any quarter. We've just done that now. 24 in cell B5, use a function to display the average monthly profit. Okay, so we're going to type in equal average. Let's highlight the first set of profits. So this is for April, May and June, comma, and then the profits for July, August and September, comma. Sorry guys. Highlight October, November, December, and then January, February, March, and then you can close your brackets, and that's going to be the average across the 4 months, or not the 4 months, each of the months in every quarter. Okay, press enter. Right, question 25. In cell B6, use a function to display the average quarterly profit. Okay, so we're going to go to here, equal average, and we need to select G12 here, comma, and then this cell here for this quarter, comma, this cell here for this quarter, and then this cell here for this quarter. Close your brackets, enter, done. So there's the average. Okay, finished. Format all currency values in dollars with 0 decimal places. So let's start with here. We can basically right click, format cells, number or currency, select the dollar sign. Can you see dollar sign here? English, United States, 0 decimal places, Okay, and it's basically all of these, isn't it? Yeah. Right click, format cells, currency, no decimal places, English should be United States, $sign. Yep, done. Okay. I don't know why I've got the border there for some reason. Let me get rid of that. Right, so that's that done. Okay, let's see what's next. In cell C3, use a formula to display the number of the quarter which made the highest quarterly profit. The number of each quarter is displayed in column B. Okay, so basically you need to refer to these, and we need to find out which quarter made the highest profit. So in which cell are we going to do the formula? We're going to do this formula in cell C3, yeah. And it's going to be an if statement, so we basically need to work out which cell has the highest profits. So what we're going to do, the highest quarterly profit is here, okay, and we need to find out if this value here is equal to this one, then it's going to be quarter one. If this highest quarterly value is equal to this value here for quarter two, then we're going to say quarter two is the highest. In this case, quarter two is the highest because the number here, 21,865, is shown here. So let's go ahead and show you. So equal if, first of all, we want to check if this cell here is the same as this cell, and if it's true, so remember the logical test, comma, if it's true, then we want to show the contents of this cell here, comma. We have another condition, so we type in if again. Obviously this isn't true because that's not the same as that cell, so we move on to the next test. If this cell here, the contents of this cell is equal to the contents of this cell, and if that's true, in this case it is true, then we want to refer to this cell here. Okay, if again. What we're doing, this cell here is equal to this quarter's profits. Obviously it's not going to be this one because it's negative. Then we refer to this cell here, and if it's not the first, second or third quarter, then the false value has to refer to the fourth quarter. So we click on the number 4 here. Okay, so we close the brackets. So 1, 2 and 3 always close with a black bracket, and the highest quarter is 2 because this value here is the same as this value there. Okay, so I think that was a bit tricky. It doesn't say we have to use an if statement, so you just have to apply some common sense. Right, we've come to the end. So we're going to first of all save and print the spreadsheet showing the formulas. Okay, let me just double check one thing. Okay, I want to double check if I did finish everything. So I think I've added up all of these values here. I forgot to copy and paste this across. Let me copy and paste this across here. So that's basically adding up all of the profits. Yeah. So let me change this now to formulas. It's really important you adjust the columns so we can see all of the formulas in all of the cells. And then this one here. Okay, once we've done that, actually I can't see the average if there, so, or the average, not the average if, this one. Yep, we can see all of the formulas. We're going to print in a landscape format, and row and column headings will be displayed, and the contents of all cells needs to be fully visible and easily read. So if I go to File, Print, let's change to landscape. Let's go to Scaling Options, Custom Scaling Options, Sheet to include row and column headings. And normally when we print formulas, I like to fit to one page or 2 pages wide, 1 page tall. So let's see how that looks. Yeah, because what you don't want to do is fit it to one sheet and it becomes really difficult to read unless they specifically say printed to one sheet, which they haven't. So 1 page tall, 2 pages wide is fine. Your candidate details are here. Yep, we can go ahead and we can print this off. So I'm just double checking to see if all of the formats are shown. Yep, so that's your first printout. Go ahead and do that. And then the next printout is the values. So we're going to print to a single page. So they're being specific, but they're not being specific about the orientation. So we can keep it landscape. They're not saying landscape or portrait. Row and column headings are not displayed, and contents of cells are fully visible. So let's take off the formulas to show the values. We want to show all of the information. Nothing's cut off. I'm just going to highlight all of these and just increase the size of these columns. You can see expenditure is slightly cut off. Let's increase the size of this column. Okay, so let's go ahead and print this now. Let's take off the row and column headings. Can you see all of the values? Is anything cut off? Nope, we can go ahead and we can print this off. Okay, so you should have a printout of your formulas and a printout of your values. Okay, so let's highlight that and let's highlight that. And we've come to the end. And then once you've finished all of the spreadsheet tasks, you can then print off your evidence document. Okay, so the evidence document, it now includes the print screen for the conditional formatting, and then the print screens and copy and paste from the HTML part. So again, when you're printing this off, double check your candidate details appear on each page, your print screens and everything is clear, and then you can go ahead and print this off. So we've come to the end of this paper. So this is paper 3, variant 32. If you check out the previous video, I've completed the website section, and now we've completed the data analysis part. So it was relatively a straightforward paper, but there was quite a lot of things to do, so it's quite easy to miss some of the steps. Please drop your comments below. Good luck for your exams if you're taking them next week or next summer. Thank you for your time. Please like and share the channel.